I feel like optimism, it can be tough, can't it? The work you're doing, trying to tackle disadvantage. I imagine it could be easy to get quite bogged down in that, for that to not feel great. But I think something else you practice in your trust, isn't it, is the practice of hope and optimism.
Yeah, and this is hard, right? So, like when you're looking at the latest data sets on child poverty, rarely do I come out of that research and go, "Gosh, I feel better about myself and the world now." Actually, it's quite the opposite. But that is interesting, and I think we talk about leaning into things, and we would say it's really important to lean into that. So, for example, when the cost of living was at its absolute height, one of the things we said was, look, get it on your line management meetings, like check in with your staff, because this isn't just the families and children we are serving that feeling the pinch point here. This is actually some of our staff feeling this. One of the reasons why we committed to becoming a real living wage employer with the Real Living Wage Foundation, because we said, we recognize we need to make almost a public and a national commitment to this in our region, not just for our employees, but some families we serve as well. One of the things that Katrina, who I've mentioned, our CEO of the trust and who I had the absolute privilege of co-authoring the book with, Katrina talks about the need to count the flowers. And actually, we have a regular meeting on a termly basis with all of our system leaders and heads where we do exactly this, where we say, look, your grades might not be where you want them to be right now. You might have had a real surge in the number of needs of parents and families in your community right now, but please take stock on something that has worked well this term. And that might be a child's performance. It might be a particular family that we've been able to get a bed for through the likes of Zarak, for example. And so families and heads and so on come together to really celebrate that. And one of the other things we do around that is our Diamond standards events, where we essentially have diamonds that are our core values, if you like. So things like courage, creativity, curiosity won't surprise you, one of our diamond standards. And everybody in academies has the opportunity to nominate children, families, but also community members as part of this. So, for example, Arlo, one of our school dogs, got nominated for an award recently as part of this. And we celebrate them through the likes of Teesside University and another venue nearby as a way of really trying to show that, look, we know you're committed to our standards as a trust, which is great. But not only that, you've gone the extra mile. You've shown what it means to be curious or to be creative in your context. So it is important to do that. And I think, anyone who reads my Substack will see that we are quite intentional about trying to find research that isn't just weighing the problem, but is telling us quite practical things that we could do to start to turn the tide on some of that as well.